Hi everyone, welcome back to Good or Good Enough. So I finally saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and here is my little review. So what happened in Mission Impossible? So the plot is Ethan Hunt and the team continue to search for the terrifying AI known as the Entity, which has infiltrated intelligence networks all over the globe, with the world's government and a mysterious ghost from Ethan's past on the trail. Joined by new allies and armed with means to shut the Entity down for good, Ethan Hunt is in a race against time to prevent the world as you know it from changing forever. This is just like Age of Ultron. I think I'm very disappointed by this entry in the Mission Impossible franchise. He's in possession of the key. He has to help them acquire the Entity's source code. Sevastopol is the submarine containing the Entity. Operation Podkova is the stealth capability that hides the submarine. A quick summary of this film is it's not like the others. First off, it doesn't follow the same formula. It's so it lags and takes so long to get to the main action scenes. There's a few stunts in it. It seems a little woke. Haley Atwell's acting sucks. Her character seems to be dumber than the last film. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes. Its budget is $400 million. It has currently made $200 million in the second week. This movie is based off you can tell that this movie was expecting Kamala Harris to be in charge or to win the election because there's a black president, and it just distracts from the plot. I don't know, do we care about that? It has nothing to do with the story. I mean, we care about it in a reality issue, but for a film, who cares? The first 30 minutes to an hour is literal exposition with an off-screen fight scene. You just hear the sounds of it. I don't understand it. After 30 minutes of waiting, you get an off-screen action scene. I don't know why. And they go back into an exhibition again, exploring the plan, and it just repeats and repeats with two big stunts in it. There's two big stunts. They're amazing. Tom Cruise actually did the stunts. We've seen this story a million times before. There's nothing new here, and this film feels like it's not satisfying. It doesn't have what a normal Mission Impossible film has. This scene right here, just back and forth until she gives a gun up. It's just, I don't know. They should have combined this story to the third act of the last one, and then made it 3 hours, and they could have summed this up to the last 30 minutes of this new film, or the last, then make it a full a full heavy 3 hours, but with a lot of stuff in it. I don't think they needed to split this film up. And that's the basic review, and now we will get into spoilers for the film. So after the second big stunt, Ethan Hunt is able to finally get close to Gabriel, and he snaps his arm. Real violent. He ends up killing him. He gets him to go off the plane. Yeah, there. So right here, Gabriel dies. He says some stuff, really cocky, and then he dies. So I don't get that. He smashed right to the blade, and then he flies away. So Ethan Hunt kills Gabriel in the end, stopping the Entity. So this is the fight scene. Takes an hour and 16 minutes to get to it. Ethan is on the sub, and this guy comes in to fight him, and he holds a knife out. They fight, intense. And I said, why are you gonna fight with a guy on a treadmill when his heart rate is up and he's totally fluid? He's so loose right now and ready to fight. I don't know why anybody would attack anybody who's if you attack somebody in the gym, they're pumped, they're ready to go, their heart rate's going. Yeah, they may be weak, whatever, but they're loose, they're ready. So this guy is a bad assassin, I think. yeah, they fight each other, and it goes back and forth where Race and Benji are at, and the other members of the team. They have their fight scene. Cool. And then the house is starting to blow up and all that. Ethan's fighting that guy. Goes back and forth. And then he does a strange move. I don't know why, but I feel like Ethan could have done something else, maybe. They keep fighting, all this stuff. Pretty cool. I like that he goes back and forth. They get out. That guy dies in the first Mission Impossible film. And then Ethan successfully beats that guy. And that's pretty much it. An hour and 29 minutes is the submarine scene. Finally goes down underwater. He has a key, and he finally goes down underwater. Very cool. This scene is so intense. The submarine rolls during it, and it rolls so naturally. I like that. The stunts are great. It takes way too long to get to the stunts though, but they look so good though. They really do. I mean, this scene is so intense. It's like everything that goes on in it. The suit looks pretty awesome. And it keeps going down. Very beautiful scene. I feel like it takes a little while. They could have maybe trimmed it up a bit. He goes all the way down to the sub, discovers the submarine, enters the submarine, looks around, and the sub starts shifting, and he's inside of it, and it's really insane. It looks so great. Definitely edge of your seat action, I think. Like, you know he'll be fine, but this gets you so expecting like something's gonna go bad, because the sub really, like, it looks like it naturally rolls rather than like for the movie. It really looks good. And this movie has too many flashbacks. Just too many flashbacks. It's almost like they didn't expect you to watch the first one. Very long scene. Very long scene. It's like 10 or 20 minutes. He finally gets into there. He does the thing, whatever. And then I think they make it look like he's not gonna make it out of it. Yeah. He gets out of it. He looks like, oh yeah, he has to ditch his equipment, and then he floats to the top, and then he starts to freeze up, and then Grace saves him. But this is so scary because the nukes are moving. It's so crazy. Or the silos, I mean. But it really keeps you going, thinking like, you know, that Ethan's gonna die. Of course, I mean, it really looks great. Then he has to squeeze himself through the missile silo, or the launch tube. And then he decides he has to take off all the equipment to go through it, pushes it through. And then he makes it out. It looks like he's gonna die. Gets to the top. Then it starts to kind of freeze up. It's so good. It looks so real though. And then this shot is so nice. Like he's not like on clouds or something. That looks so cool, I think. Looks great. And then it cuts to, oh, he's imagining that girl that died, his wife. And then, you know, turns out it's Haley Atwell's character Grace who saves him. And that's it on that part. The biplane scene is really amazing. Those are pretty much the spoilers for the film. We'll now get into some of my favorite moments from the film. There's really not many fun moments in this film other than the biplane scene and the underwater scene. This scene's okay. The crash looks amazing though. Gabriel escapes in a biplane, and then Ethan jumps on a red one that goes by as well. Pretty awesome. They perform their own stunts during this entire scene. Ethan's hanging on the plane, and man, it looks so good. But it takes so long to get to this scene. It's a long scene too. But it looks great. They perform their own stunts. I gotta say, one of my favorite things is Palm Clementif as Paris, who played Mantis in Marvel in the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I almost didn't even recognize her. And then I said, oh, that is her, isn't it? And I looked up the actor's name, and it was Palm Clementif. So, very funny. She did very good with her character, I think. She definitely, you don't see any Mantis in her, you know. A lot of, like, Scorsese's, you know, statement or whatever, or, you know, point of view on the whole Marvel thing is that people will label you and connect you to that character forever rather than it being a movie about the actor. So this scene is pretty cool, and it should have been more sequences. I mean, the first Mission Impossible films do that, you know? Those are pretty much all my favorite scenes for the movie. I'm very disappointed in this film if I didn't say that already. The things I would fix in this film would be too much talking and exposition. The opening scene where Ethan and Benji rescue Paris is very cringe. The lag on them going, oh, come on, trust him, whatever. It's just, I don't know. Could have been edited a little faster, I think. This movie basically is dialogue, exposition, then a little action. Then dialogue and exposition, then a big stunt. Then dialogue and exposition and a little action, followed by more talking and standing, then the big stunt and the finale. That's it. It should have been opening sequence, titles, mission thing, action, plot, maybe some exposition, and then the final thing, you know? I think that this film requires the exposition and flashbacks because, I don't know, it feels like there's not much story here for them to be like, hey, you know, we don't need all this setup and then just constant flashbacks to the other movie. I think that this story was very thin. It's like they took the third act of the first movie and then made it to 3 hours. That's what it feels like. Too much focus on female characters other than Ethan Hunt. It's Tom's movie. It's Tom Cruise's film, not Haley Atwell's film. It should have opened with a crazy stunt. Dead Reckoning, the first one, is way better. Very entertaining. I would have cut it down to 2 hours. They needed to clarify who the actual villain was because there was a main villain, Gabriel. All of a sudden, everybody wants this entity. So, I don't know. The masks, I think, I'm glad that not everybody has that technology because it would have gotten out of hand. The first scene where Ethan pulls his mask off when saving Paris, and then Benji pulls his mask off, I was expecting everyone to keep pulling their masks off. Like a scary movie parody skit, you know, like, or a movie, whatever. Like, it would have been funnier like that, but I'm glad they should have. It's almost too much with the masks. It's like, does he have a mask? Does he have a mask? Who's who? You know? I think it would have been funny if they kept pulling masks off. Mask off, mask off, mask off, mask off. I think that would have been so funny. And now we can move on to whether you should see it in the theater or stream it at home. Honestly, I say see it at home. I just don't think this is worth you paying your money to go see this film and then you leave disappointed, you know? Or wait a week and hear what people are saying and then decide. Because this is not as fulfilling as part one. It just doesn't have that Mission Impossible feeling to it, you know? So that leads me to my final thoughts. I think this movie is very disappointing. Haley Atwell's character sucks. Is she trying to be dumb on purpose? Why did they have to make it so long and seemingly fluff it up with unnecessary footage when a lot of the plot and exposition could all be cut down? Doesn't have the same feeling as the previous films. It seems like it did the Indiana Jones route, and the girl de-emasculates the main character. That's honestly what it felt like. Apparently, they're going to keep making more of these in the future. This is the end of this story, but not the end of the entire franchise. Tom Cruise has stated he would like to keep making these films until he is in his 80s. Again, this movie is not like the others. There's barely any stunts in it. It seems a little woke. Haley Atwell's acting sucks. Her character seemed to be dumber than the last film. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes with a budget of $400 million and has made half of that in the second week, so it should be successful. It's too much exposition, too many flashbacks with too many little stunts. There's 2 big stunts, they're very amazing. Tom Cruise does them himself. We've seen the same story before, so nothing new here. This film seems unsatisfying. So after all that, if they really can't make a good movie for $400 million, I say this film is good enough. And that wraps up this review of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Please leave a comment down below about what you thought of this film, and if this is really satisfying to 7 films from the past or not, and I'll see you in the next review.